Hey ditch fishers, welcome to a Ditch Fisher Spring Special, Sipsey River Trip 2013. You know, I don't think life's worth living unless you can get out of your comfort zone occasionally and just go have an adventure. So that's why each year a group of friends and myself would get together for a long weekend of camping and floating the beautiful Sipsey River in northwest Alabama. It's always a fantastic trip. It's a time of fun and fellowship. We always have some great stories to tell by the end of the trip and some lessons learned along the way. This year was no different, despite a rocky start, what with the flat tire on the way out and then a not-so-helpful park ranger who, shall we say, lightened the load of some of the contents in our cooler, if you know what I mean. Hey, no hard feelings. We know the guy was just doing his job, and speaking of lessons learned, we'll all do a better job of packing next year, that's for sure. Another thing looming on our mind was the weatherman, specifically his prediction of rain and thunderstorms throughout the weekend. But hey, no worries. I mean, it's not like we were going to be camping in an area that's prone to flash flooding or anything. Oh, actually, that's not right. We were going to be camping in the middle of a narrow river ravine that's highly susceptible to flash flooding even after the slightest rain shower. Oh well. Don't stress the details, I always say. No plan is perfect, and sometimes you just have to get out there and do it. So with that in mind, we packed our rain gear, we crossed our fingers, and by mid-morning Friday, we were on the river headed towards who knows what for the next 2 nights. The Sipsey is a place of contradictions. One minute you're paddling down a meandering stream through typical Alabama countryside, but around the next turn you'll find dramatic landscapes that would make you swear you are in the heart of the Appalachian Mountains. One such place is a spot we've dubbed as Black Falls. It's named after the member of our party who discovered it on our very first trip. This 150-foot waterfall drops into a canyon that feels almost prehistoric. It's a must-see for every trip, and even after all these years, it doesn't lose its awe-inspiring quality. It's especially impacting for any newcomers on the trip, as it's an example of the kind of hidden treasures the Sipsey has to offer if you just take the time to stop along the river and explore the ravine. Another such place is a choke in the river. Out-of-towners call it the Big Rapids, but us Sipsey veterans know it as the 10-yard dash. It's a short, swift set of rapids that can be classed up to a Category 2 depending on the water level. It was definitely a Category 2 this year. It marks the halfway point of our trip, and it's probably the only real challenge as far as rapids go. I had found on our trip, this being my first time to try the Sipsey on my sit-on-top kayak, that what I gained in space and stability with the sit-on-top, I lost in maneuverability. And though I had faced the dash 3 times before, I found on this day that wisdom does not always follow experience. crazy is right. Nothing like fishing all of your gear out of the river before the very first night of camping. Oh well, not everyone had as much trouble on the dash as I did. Our luck with the weather held out for the first 2 nights, but the rain found us on the last morning. When we saw there was a break in the rain, we took the opportunity and got back on the water for the final haul. In those last few miles, we experienced the Sipsey unlike any previous trip, as waves of fog filled the river ravine. The beauty of it could only be described as surreal, but some things are best left undescribed.